Hi, this is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org. Let's read the question. Danube College has 15% more students this year than it did last year. If Danube College has 4,600 students this year, how many did it have last year? Now, this question doesn't seem to be very difficult, but I believe the challenge is going to be how to come up with a correct answer fast. Okay, so let's go for it. So we have this year and we have last year. This year we know that we have 4,600 students. Okay, and last year we don't know. But there is a 15% increase from last year to this year. So clearly, X, if X is last year, as I wrote here, you're gonna understand that 4,600, let me just write that without the comma, is 1.15, which is 15% more. That's how you write it mathematically. You know, 100% plus 15%. So in decimal form, 1.15 of X. And most of you, or many of you, are going to be tempted to solve this question by saying that X is equal to 4,600 divided by 1.15. Now, this is not easy. That's not an easy division. You can multiply by 100, both the numerator and denominator, but regardless, this is not the way to go for most of you. You know, most of us will struggle with this division. Okay? Unless you're a division whiz, I don't recommend this method. So what we're going to do here is let's use what we call back solving. Okay? Back solving. Now, what does it mean to back solve? Back solve is just looking at the answer choices and see which one, if you increase it by 15%, going to give you 4,600. Okay? In general, in that process, we start in the middle here. We start with B, C, D because it's just a faster way to come up with the correct answer. You don't want to start with A. You do not want to start with E in general. You want to start in the middle. And it's always nice to start with a friendly number in the middle. Okay? And what we're going to need to do here, once we start with one number in the middle, actually we're going to have only 2 attempts. We don't need more than 2 attempts to come up with the correct answer. That's the nice thing about back solving. We don't have to try all these numbers. We try one. If it doesn't work, we try another. It should give us the correct answer. Now, if you don't know the the process of back solving, I recommend you watch one video we did about that, or just go and Google it and you'll see how it's done. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with C here, okay? Let's start with C and you're going to understand exactly how I do this. So, we start with C. Okay? So we're going to start with X equal 4,200, okay? If X equal 4,200, we need to find 15% of X and add it to 4,200 and find out if it's going to give us 4,600, okay? So, 15% of 4,200, what is it? Now, you can do a straight multiplication, 15 by 42. But personally, because 15 by 42 is not, straightforward, I like to do mentally 10% plus 5%. 15% is 10% of 4,200 plus 5% of 4,200. Okay? You agree? 10 plus 5, 15. Now, 10% of 4,200 is easy. You just divide this number by 10. That's what really 10%. So you take out one of the zeros here. So it's 420, and 5% is just half of the 10%. 5 is half of 10. So 5% of 4,200 should give us half of 420, which is 210. Okay. Now, again, we don't actually need even to calculate this, to tell the truth, because already it looks like we have gone over the number. If you take 4,200 plus 420, you have already gone over 4,600. But that's okay. I'm still gonna calculate this as 630. Again, once again, if you add 630 to 4,200 here, you're gonna get over 4,600. 4,600. So what it means is that the number, 4,200C is too big. It's not the correct answer, obviously, but not only it is not the correct answer, it is too big. Okay? So what we're gonna do here, try a smaller number. Okay? So again, let me write down too big. Yeah, when I say too big, I'm talking about 4,200 really. So the two smaller numbers are D 4,000 and E 3,800 here. Clearly, 4,000 is a more friendly number. Okay? So it doesn't matter which one really you use. If you use 4,000, it happens to be the answer, great. If 4,000 is not the correct answer, no problem. We'll know that the answer has to be 3,800. Why? Because the answer has to be smaller than 4,200. Do you understand now that we only need 2 attempts? This was our first attempt. We only need one more attempt to solve this question. So, pick x equal 4,000. Then, 15% of 4,000 is equal to, this one we don't even have to play the same trick here, just 15 times 4 is 60. So clearly the number gonna be 600. Okay, 600. So the original number here we chose is 4,000. Plus 600 here is equal to 4,600. Yeah, that's great. That's our answer. 4,000 seems to be the correct answer here because 4,000 plus 15% of 4,000 give us 4,600. Okay, 4,600. So great, we are lucky here. I mean, not really, because even if this was not the answer, then we would have known that E would be the answer. Do you understand? So this is the process of back solving. Okay, back solving. Understand how it's done, because sometimes the numbers are not very friendly as it is here. As we saw here earlier, it's not really, easy to do this division. So it was nice to come up with a different method. And the method of back solving can be really handy sometime. I hope you appreciate this method of doing the question. Okay? So let's write down the correct answer here. D is the correct answer. Great. So study this question carefully, so you can make it yours, this method, because as I said again, it can be extremely useful. This is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Hi, this is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org. Let's read the question. In March, Mr. Jones' salary was 80% of the Jones family's total income. In April, Mr. Jones earned 25% more than in March. If the remainder of the family's income was exactly the same both months, then, in April, Mr. Jones' salary was roughly what percent of the Jones family total income? Okay, another percentage question. The key to answering this question without losing too much time is to pick 100 as the total family income here. We have three entities here. We have Jones himself, salary. We have the rest of the family's income. And then we have the total family income. Okay, let's write that down. So we have the family, the total family. Okay, let me write this down better actually. Okay, quickly. So March, April. So we have total family salary. We have Jones. And we have the rest of the family. Okay? So all you have to do is say that in March, the total family income is 100. Okay, you pick up the number 100 because we are dealing here with a percentage here. 100 is an excellent number to deal with. Okay, not always, but in general, yes. So, Jones is 80% of that. 80% of 100 is 80. And the rest is obviously 20. Okay, so this is the rest. I don't know if you can read it. The rest of the family right here. In April, we are told that John earned 25% more than in March. 25. Now, we need to know how to calculate 25% more of 80. First, what is 25% of 80? The best way to deal with this is to understand that 25% is 1/4. So it's important to understand the equivalency between fractions and percentages. They can come really handy. You don't always have to do that. There are cases where you deal with percentage all the time, all the way, but there are cases in which knowing that equivalencies can really help. Okay, I believe here that knowing that 25% is 1/4, so all we have to do then is 1/4 of 80, which is easy. 1/4 of 80 is just 80 divided by 4, which is 20, and then add that to 80. Okay, so again, what I'm doing here is saying that 25% of 80 equal 1/4 of 80. Okay, and this is equal to 20. And you add this 20 to 80, so you get 100. Okay, so if you want 80 plus 20 equal 100. So you understand what I did. Now, we also told that the remainder of the family's income was exactly the same both months. So we had 20 in March. We're going to also have 20 in April. It has not changed. Now, watch out. Even though the rest of the family's income has not changed, the total family income must have changed as a result of John's salary having changed. So the rest of the total family's income gonna have to be 100 plus 20. Okay? I hope you'll agree. 100 plus 20. So we have here now 120. Great. So we want to know now what percent of the Jones family's total income, is John's salary. And again, this in April. So very simple. All we have to do is look at these numbers. So we're going to say that, let's call it J. Okay, let's call J here equal John's income. Okay, in April. Okay, JA if you want. Okay, JA, J subscript A. So JA gonna have to be 100 divided by 120. Okay, what is 100 over 120? The best thing here is to simplify. We understand that 20 goes into 100 and goes into 120 as well. So if we, divide by 20, you're gonna get 5 over 6. Again, I divide 100 by 20, which give me 5, and I divide 120 by 20, which give me 6. Now, it's good to know what 5/6 is. I don't recommend you memorize this, what 5/6 is. You just have to figure out what is by either doing a straight division, by doing possibly this, 5 divided by 6, if you're in the US, that's how they do division, and then you'll find the answer. Okay? I like to play a trick with this. What I do personally, is 5 over 6 is gonna be 3 over 6 plus 2 over 6. Why? 3 plus 2 is 5. But I do know 3 over 6 easily. 3 over 6 is just, 1/2. 2 over 6 plus 1/3. Now, these are fractions. Now, if we turn them into percentages, very simple. 1/2 is 50% easily. And 1/3 is 33 and 1/3%. Okay, this is a trick I just play here. So 50 plus 33 is 83. So we understand that JA is easily 83%, 83 and 1/3, okay? $83 and 1/3%. Okay, the question was roughly, approximately what is the answer. So E has to be the answer. Okay, so let's write it down. E is the correct answer. Great. So that's it. I think the takeaway from this question is to pick the right number. When you're dealing with what percent or what is the ratio, what fraction of that type of language, you can pick any number. But obviously, you want to pick a number that is friendly to you, a number that's going to speed up the solving process. And here 100 was a great number to pick. And then you're going to be dealing with fractions at the end. You have to figure out what these fractions are. I recommend you do a straight division if you're pretty comfortable with that, or do what I did here. Basically bounce off all the fractions you know. Okay, you bounce off the typical fractions we all know. The 1/2, the 1/3, the 1/4, those. Just, be creative and you'll find your answer, correctly. And in general, you don't have to, find the exact answer. You just have to have an idea where the answer gonna fall. Okay? Great. This is a GMAT question again from gmatquestions.org. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Hi. This is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org. Let's read the question. In 2000, the market value of a certain house was 4/3 of the original purchase price. In 2005, its market value was 3/2 of the original purchase price. By what percent did the market value of the house increase from 2000 to 2005? So, as you can see, we are dealing with a percentage increase. And it's good to know the formula that gives you the value of a percentage increase. Let me remind you that when you have a percentage increase from one date to another, this is just going to give you, the formula is equal to the final value, the final value in the later date if you want, minus the original value divided by the original value and time 100. Okay, don't forget to times 100 here. It's important at the end. Okay, so this is the formula we're going to use to solve this question. It is a pretty simple question, and we just need to make sure we deal with it as fast as we can. So what we're going to do here and say that we have 2000 and we have 2005. Okay, now if we call P as a purchase price of the house, we can say that the market value, if you want, let's call it V, is gonna equal to 4/3 of P in 2000. And then in 2005, it's gonna be equal to 3/2 of P. Okay? Using this formula, we can say that the percentage increase you're looking for going to be equal to the final value, which is 3/2 of P in 2005, minus 4/3 of P divided by 4/3 of P times 100. Okay? Now, in order to speed up the solving process, we can choose here a value for P. Actually, as you know, we could really simplify P mathematically. We could get rid of P, but we're going to be left with fractions here, and we're going to have to put them in the same denominator and the like. And I think that it can slow down the whole process. So I believe here it's a good idea to choose an appropriate value for P. Okay? So pick a value for P. And it really doesn't matter, because here we're dealing with the percentage increase. P can be anything. It could be 1, 100, 1,000, 100,000. It wouldn't make a difference on the actual result. Okay, I hope you understand that, because actually P does simplify here. So it doesn't really matter what the value of P is. But again, we're going to choose a value for P here because we want to speed up the solving process. Okay, so the value for P we should choose here would be the common denominator of 2 and 3. You see 2 here and you see 3 here. The common denominator we can think of is 6. Now, a house doesn't cost $6, but it really doesn't matter. A house, is pretty expensive. But even if you put $6, just for the sake of solving this quickly, we should be able to find the answer. Okay? So I'm going to say that P equal $6. Okay, just 6. Let's say 6. And then this gives us that the percentage increase going to be equal to 3/2 of 6 minus 4/3 of 6 divided by 4/3 of 6 times 100. For now, I'm going to leave the 100. At the end, I'll just put the 100. Okay? Great. So this percentage increase equal, let's just put it here, equal. As you can see, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. you can put 9 here, minus 6 over 3 here is 2. 2 times 4 is 8, minus 8 divided by 8. Okay? Again, I'm going to put the 100 at the end. So we're going to continue here on the right side. The percentage increase is, let me write down again, 9 minus 8 over 8. Okay, which is equal to 1 over 8. Now, I highly recommend you know your fractions. There are many typical fractions like 1/4, 1/2, 1/3, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. I highly recommend you memorize those. It's not very difficult to do because they can really come handy, on the GMAT. Now, 1/8 happen to be 12.5. It's just 1/4 divided by 2. 1/4 is 25%. 1/8 is half of that, which is 12.5%. Okay, but actually what we should be doing is this times 100, really. And again, as I say, 1/8 is 0.125 times 100. So just understand that this is going to give you 12.5%. Okay? And that is our answer. So it wasn't that difficult. It's just, what was important here is to know the formula for percentage increase, and also plays this trick where you choose P, you choose an appropriate value for P in order to speed up the solving process. Okay? So the answer here, the correct answer, as you can see, the correct answer is D. Let's write that down. D is the correct answer. Okay, great. I hope you learned something from this question, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Hi, this is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org. Let's read the question. In 2007, the book value of a certain truck was 3/4 of the original purchase price. In 2010, its book value was 1/2 of the original purchase price. By what percent did the book value of the truck decrease from 2007 to 2010? Okay. Here we have now a percentage decrease because we went from 3/4 to 1/4, to 1/2, which is a smaller number, okay? In the previous question, we had a percentage increase. Now let me give you the formula for a percentage decrease. Okay. So we're gonna write original first minus final over original. Now again, times 100. You still have to have the 100 there. Notice that the difference between the percentage decrease and the percentage increase is merely the numerator. In the percentage increase, we had final minus original over original. But for the percentage decrease, in order to have a positive number here, because you have positive percentages, we need to switch, the final and the original values. So now we have original minus final over original, okay? So take note of that. Okay, let's go to work now. We have 2007 and we have 2010. So if V is the value of the purchase price, the book value, if V is a big value, and P, as I said earlier, is the purchase price, okay, all you have to do here is say that V should be equal to 3/4 of P in 2007 and 1/2 of P in 2010. If you follow what I did in the previous question, the percentage decrease is equal to the original. What is the original here? 3/4 of P minus 1/2 of P divided by 3/4 of P times 100. Now, we need to pick an appropriate value for P here. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that we're going to choose P to speed up the solving process. We don't want to waste too much time with fractions here. So any P will do, because P going to simplify anyway. If you watch the previous question, I told you that P will be simplified. So we can choose any P. So obviously here we want to choose P equal a multiple of 4 and 2. And so we can choose P equal 4, P equal 8, 12, and so on. So 4 would do. So let's just choose P. Let me erase this. Sorry. Okay. P equal 4. And then we have 3/4 of 4 minus 1/2 of 4 divided by 3/4 of 4. Okay? So clearly, the percentage decrease gonna be, what is 3/4 of 4? 4 is 3 here. This is a 2 over 3. Let's continue here on the right side. So percentage decrease, again, let me write it down so it's clear. Gonna be equal to 3 minus 2 over 3, which is equal to 1/3. Now 1/3 here is a fraction. I didn't put the 100 here. As you see, I removed the 100. I just didn't have much place here. So that's why I don't have to worry about the 100 until the end. And anyway, we do know 1/3 what it is in terms of percentage. As I said before, make sure you know your fractions, the typical fractions. Okay? And here it's clear that the percentage decrease 1/3 is 33 and 1/3%. Okay, as you see here, sometimes I write it as a fraction or as a percentage. At the end of the day, we need a percentage. So 1/3 corresponds to 33 and 1/3%. Okay, and that's it. So let's write down the correct answer is C. I always write my answers in green. So C is the correct answer. Okay, wasn't that bad. Okay, great. Thank you for watching. This is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org, and see you in the next video.